Champion speakers sponsor the Farmfoods British Par 3 Championship coverage.
Welcome to Nailcote Hall in Warwickshire as an incredible mix of professionals from across the sport of golf try their luck at winning a share of the €150,000 prize fund on offer. Amongst the golfers in attendance are 4 major champions, and 2019 marks a very special 50th anniversary for one of them. Here's Len Goodman to tell us a little more.
Welcome to the 86th Farmfoods British Par 3 Championships here at Nailcote Hall in Warwickshire. You know, 1969 was a good year. That's the year they put a man on the moon. It also happened to be the year this tournament's ambassador and golfing great, Tony Jacklin, took a giant leap in his career and won the Open at Royal Lytham and St Anne's. He was also involved in a very important handshake that year, but more about that later. Let's focus on this year.
Thanks, Len, and what a field we have for you. Every area of the game of golf is being represented this week, from multiple European and PGA Tour winners to major champions, alongside winners from the Seniors Tour and the Women's Game. And the pros will be accompanied by some top celebrities, all trying to do their bit to claim the team prize on offer this week. Over the years, this tournament has seen some of the very best of today's golfing world climb the ranks, with Tommy Fleetwood and Eddie Pepperell winning the professional titles, and Charlie Hull and Aaron Rai claiming the Norma C. Hurd Silver Salver as amateurs. But as Len said, let's turn our attention to this year and the golfers we should be looking out for that have a shot at claiming the title, a title that's accompanied with an incredible cheque for €50,000. Stephen Tiley is back as defending champion. The English golfer that competes on the European and Challenge Tour is earmarked as a short game master, so don't be surprised if he's in contention come the final round. Local lad and European Tour player Aaron Rai has a great history at Nailcote Hall, starting his love affair with the game of golf at the tender age of just 4. He was also in the mix for last year's tournament. Can he go one better this year? Masters champion Ian Woosnam still has a short game to mix it at the top level. Can he bring some of his wealth of experience to the party? Open Championship winner Paul Lawrie has a certain swagger about him this week, with son Craig and nephew Sean also in the field. Can Paul lead the Lawrie charge to the title? US Open champion Michael Campbell is also back. The enigmatic New Zealander has made a comeback to golf recently, competing on the Stayshore Tour. And the ever-entertaining Jarmo Sandelin, Ryder Cup golfer, multiple European Tour winner, the big Swede could be an incredibly popular champion here, but the field is wide open. Lejeanne Luthwaite is picking up the baton for the female golfers. The exciting talent from South Africa is looking to become the first woman to pick up the title. Before we get to the action, let's take a look at the format of the tournament. It's a 2-round, 36-hole stroke play competition. Each round consists of 2 laps of this tricky 9-hole course. And don't forget, it's an impressive €150,000 prize fund that the golfers are competing for. And as well as the main competition, there's also a super senior category for the over 60s. The amateur single-figure handicappers will all compete for the Norma C. Hurd Silver Salver, plus the professionals and amateurs combine to compete for the team competition. Round 1 here at Nailcote Hall. On the first tee, defending champion Stephen Tiley. What a brilliant win it was last season. And what a brilliant start to this round. Looks like he means business, playing alongside Aaron Rai today. And Adam Phillips caught up with Mr. Two Gloves before his round.
It's great to be back here. This is probably the first course that I started playing at from the age of 4 years old. So yeah, got a lot of history with the place, and it's always good to come back, and it's always a challenge as well. No matter how good you get, no matter how confident you feel, this course can always bite you. So it's a great test for short game, and just a great event.
Aaron then with his opening tee shot to this year's tournament. Such a wonderful short game player. His putting is something else. And that's not a bad start either. So he and Tiley off nicely at the first. Now the big Swede, Jarmo Sandelin, made his debut 2 years ago at the British Par 3 Championships when the course rather bit him on the bottom, but last year he looked better. What about his chances this year?
I haven't won for a long time. A win in a par 3 tournament would be great. I mean, it's a boost for confidence and just a feeling to know that once again I'm the number one and then there is the rest. It would be great relief. But there is all 60 guys who's trying to do the same thing, so it's going to be tough, but I'm going to do my best.
Another legend, Mark McNulty, with a birdie opportunity at the 5th and wearing a flat cap in honour of the late Gordon Brand Jr. Fondly remembered and sadly lost earlier this year.
Mark, it's great to see you here at the British Par 3 Championships. Firstly, can I say you're looking splendid today?
Yeah, this little flat cap is when I started playing in Europe, I started to wear it, and the old handicap type thing, and then Gordon Brand Jr. took over from me because I was ordered by my eye people to not wear it anymore, didn't have enough coverage. So this is in honour of Gordon Brand Jr., untimely death, but he was a good, fun character, and we all miss him.
He's sorely missed amongst a lot of guys, especially on the Station Tour as well.
Absolutely. You know, it's, as I've said to a few people this morning, you know, it's we all come and we all go, and what you do in between is the important thing.
Birdie putt at the 3rd for Ladies European Tour player Incy Mehmet. Well holed. And Incy spoke to Cromwell course owner Rick Cressman earlier in the tournament.
Rick, first of all, thank you so much for having me at this event at Nailcote Hall. What is it about this tournament that is so unique?
We really feel that we've created something that shows that this is a game that's for everyone. The joy of having, you know, major champions from the past to both sexes, everyone, all ages. There's nothing stopping anybody from winning here. That strength factor's gone. This is all about skill, and as Tony Jacklin says, this is all the fiddly bits that makes winners.
But what is it in particular that you think is required to play this course well? Because it's short, we've got small slopey greens.
Yeah.
Is it the more experienced golfers?
You know, over the years we've had a mixture of players. Eddie Pepperell and Tommy Fleetwood 5 and 6 years ago have won. But we've probably had more slightly older, more mature players, and I think they are more inclined not to chase the flags. Around this course, the best message to anybody is, you know what, try to put that ball in the middle of the green, because what's the worst that's going to happen? If you're in the middle of the green, on the green, you're probably never going to be much more than between 10 and 15 feet away from the flag.
We've never had a female winner at Nailcote Hall. Would you like to see that?
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. And we've also got our first, you know, amputee disabled golfer playing this year, professional Mike Brown. I'd love to see him play really well too. You know, it's a game for everyone, so we don't mind who wins. All ages, doesn't matter, boys, girls, anybody.
I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Let's get back to the action with Simon Golding.
Thanks, Incy. Big Alan McAnally then with a birdie opportunity at 2. And alongside the world-class golfers, we've got our celebrities here at the Cromwell course. Well holed, Alan. But those celebrities, a little out of their comfort zone, feeling a different kind of pressure out on course.
Guys, you've both played football at the very highest level. What's it like lining up on this first tee with people left and right? Nerves are jangling.
I mean, for me, the thing is with football, I knew what was going to happen, and I generally couldn't embarrass myself playing football, whereas here, I can take the club back, but I don't really know what's going to happen. That's the
I've embarrassed myself both times, to be fair. I've embarrassed myself all over the place. It's brilliant, isn't it? It's really good.
Yeah.
To be honest, the only time we get those kind of juices running is that competition edge. I mean, we're just wallpaper here. We're getting to play with the pros to see how they plot their way around an unbelievably difficult par 3 course. So for the big man in me, it's just good to have that little kind of adrenaline rush again, and try and keep it straight.
Familiar face to Sky Sports viewers, Rob Lee, with his tee shot at the first. Oh, that won't have improved his odds at the tournament.
Yourself, you're 150 to 1.
Excellent value. Excellent value. Des Smith said to me yesterday, he says, I know what you're going to do here. You're going to come in here and steal the money. I said, Des, if I win the first prize, I'll split it with you. So, do you know? You never know, do you? You never know. You make a few birdies and if no one else is going particularly mad, you won't have to be a whole pile under. So we'll see. But I'm going to enjoy it though, that's for sure. I'm with my old schoolmates who get me up here every year, so it's great.
Breakfast TV presenter Dan Walker at the tricky 5th. He's a very good golfer, is Dan, and that is a good shot.
Dan, a familiar face to everyone in the UK, but a keen golfer as well.
Oh, I do love my golf. Love days like this. Nailcote Hall is a proper little test. I've played in this event a few times, British Par 3. It's always tough. Always, you think your game's in half decent shape, you come here and it humiliates you completely. But it's a great crowd, it's a fantastic event, and hopefully I'm still smiling some points during the round today.
Time then to take a look at the scores from round 1, and firstly the Super Seniors. The Welsh wizard Ian Woosnam almost got his round off to a perfect start with a birdie on the first. Great tee shot, but it wasn't quite to be as the putt came up just short. And in fact, Ian struggled a little on the back 9, picking up 4 drop shots as he finished his round at 4 over par in 3rd place. Italian maestro Costantino Rocca was also staking his claim in the Super Seniors. A fine tee shot at the 3rd would set up a birdie opportunity. But a costly double on the 8th would even out his round as he finished on 3 over par. Good enough though for 2nd place. Sitting in top spot for the over 60s was the ever-present Carl Mason. The all-time leading money winner on the Stayshore Tour was knocking out the pins here at Nailcote Hall, as he does every year, and he was finding the bottom of the cup with putts like this. 2 over par and in pole position for the Super Seniors title yet again. In the team competition, it was Stephen Tiley and darts legend Keith Deller that posted a score of 7 under in a tie for 1st place after round 1. Irishman Brendan McGovern was partnering James Taylor, former England cricket player and now a selector. He made a great selection in choosing Brendan as his playing partner. They shared the lead with Tiley and Deller on 7 under par. And finally, Steve Luton and playing partner Clive Whiting were also flag hunting on the 5th. They completed a 3-way tie for the lead on 7 under par. In the amateur competition, the single-figure handicappers competing for the Norma Seaherd Silver Salver were going nicely. Local lad Matt James was the first to card 1 over par, and it could have been even better if a few putts like this one had dropped. Close, but not quite. Great round though, from Englishman Matt James. Neil Gooding was also matching him stride for stride. But that wasn't the end of the story where the amateurs were concerned, a competition that was warming up nicely. Youngster Josh Mulcahy was also in the mix, playing some great golf and showing good accuracy here at the 5th. Josh earned his place in this tournament by winning the junior qualifier event here at Nailcote Hall earlier in the week. It was a great opportunity for young players from across the country to rub shoulders with the professionals and be in with a chance of playing alongside major champions in front of the TV cameras. Amongst the next generation of golfing stars competing in the qualifier were Ben Bolton and Josh Mulcahy, who after the first round couldn't be separated. Eventually though, it was Josh who claimed the victory, defeating Ben in a playoff by making that monster putt to secure his place in the Pro-Am. We caught up with Josh and his dad after the first round of the main competition.
Josh, Rob, welcome to the Farmfoods British Par 3 Championship. Firstly, congratulations for Monday. It sounded like an exciting finish.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It was absolutely phenomenal. Couldn't have asked for a better experience. And just to be able to come here and play well is all I could ask for.
And to do it on the last putt in a playoff.
A 30-foot left to right breaker,
Swinger, yeah.
Down the hill, and I think the excitement and then the overwhelming fist pump at the end, I think said it all. Very, very proud of him, yeah.
You're at the end of the first round. Tell us about your experience today. How'd you get on?
Oh, front nine, absolutely incredible. Shot 3 under. Couldn't have asked for better play. A bit unfortunate on the back nine, putts didn't drop. Put myself in some silly positions. Not the finish I wanted. Ready for a good round tomorrow.
Coming up after the break, we'll see how the pros fared on day one, plus all the exciting action in the final round.
Champion Speakers sponsor the Farmfoods British Par 3 Championship coverage.
Welcome back to Nailcote Hall, and time now to get back to the round one action. On the first tee, a man who's in a rather elite club here at the British Par 3, two-time champion Richard O'Hanlon. Won the titles in 2010 and 2017, and that's a great start. Andrew Marshall at the 5th. Fantastic golfer who has really challenged. Last couple of seasons, Andrew Marshall has been in the mix here on the Cromwell course, and that's why, because of golf like that. One of the best disabled professional golfers in Europe, Mike Brown, had a fantastic season, won the Czech Masters and French Open.
First disabled professional golfer to play in the tournament. Are you proud of that?
Yeah, very chuffed. It's nice to be invited up and play, and it's going to be a real privilege to play in this with some like pure amazing golfers. So yeah, I'm really privileged.
Have you got a score in mind?
Best I can, to be honest. After yesterday, yeah, but you know, if you can shoot level around here, you're firing on all cylinders. So it's going to be a test, and yeah, we'll see what I can do.
The Fox, Mike Reynard at the 6th. Par so far, so this is a chance to go under the card. Struck it nicely. Oh, very good. Very good indeed. Reynard moves to 1 under. Seventh tee. Paul Lawrie mounted some serious challenges over the last few years to win this title, and playing here alongside his son and nephew. Yeah, you got it. It's a veritable convoy of lorries.
Paul, you're part of 4 major champions here at this event. It's a very special event. What does it mean to you?
Yeah, it's always great fun, this event. I've played in it quite a few times now over the years. It's fun, but it's frustrating, obviously, out there. I mean, but it works here, you know, the whole event is just huge, and Eric and Farmfoods done a great job of taking it where they've taken it.
You've also got your son here playing, and your nephew, I understand, that did quite well at your tournament.
Yeah, Sean won the Scottish Par 3, which is our event, which Eric also sponsors from Farmfoods. So, and Craig, he was 3rd here last year, so I need to kind of pull out a bit of the stops and try and kind of get back on top for a while, because they've been beating me for a while now, which is just frustrating. But we all get old, don't we? Unfortunately.
You had a good year last year, came close.
Yeah.
What's the plan this year?
Same again. Yeah, last year I kind of figured out a little bit. Kind of sometimes I think in the years before I'd go at pins when it's never really on. I was definitely much more patient last year. You just got to wait for your chances, and hopefully it'll be something similar again this year.
We just spoke to your dad as well. Is there any sort of inter-family competitiveness? Because obviously your cousins are here as well.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always a wee competition. Dad's ultra competitive, so I know we'll definitely be having a wee side bet with the boys.
Oh, fantastic short game. Paul Lawrie just knows how to put himself in position. Unfortunately, that chance goes begging, but he'll keep giving himself opportunities all day long. And 1 under par was good enough for joint 4th place for Paul. A solid round that included 3 birdies and 2 bogeys, and more importantly, leading the other lorries. The Swedish former Ryder Cup star Hjalmar Sunderland joined Paul on 1 under par, 4 bogeys and 5 birdies on the day. Here at 5, showing his accuracy off the tee. which will serve him well in the final round. The colourful Irishman Brendan McGovern was also on 1 under par, here at the tricky 4th, showing a lovely touch from the edge of the green.
Oh, good throw.
American Tim Thielen enjoys this tournament, and if he can get that putter rolling tomorrow, he'll be in with a shout. South African Lejeanne Luthwaite made 5 birdies in her round, and if it hadn't been for a double on the 8th, she'd have been closer to the top. Can the winner of the South African Women's Masters make a run for the title here at Nailcote? Local teaching pro Jack Hamlett has an unbelievable knowledge of this course, and he put that to good use in round 1. Losing out on a playoff in 2014 to a young Eddie Pepperell, Jack wants nothing more than to go one better this year and lift the trophy. Walker Cup star Gary Wolstenholme is back this year and had a good first day. He got his round off to a flyer with a birdie on the slippery first hole and finished the day with a total of 3 under par. More of the same tomorrow, and he'll be challenging. But it was the reigning champion Stephen Tiley that led the way with an incredible 5-birdie run from the first hole to the 5th. If he repeats that kind of form on the final day, he's going to be unstoppable. Confirmation then of the round 1 leaderboard, defending champion Stephen Tiley out on top at 5 under par, but with favourable pin positions on the last day, there's every chance someone could go on a good run, especially when the leaderboard includes the experience of men like Paul Lawrie. The Open champion in 1999 is part of a quartet of major champions that are gracing the field this week, and at the end of day 1, they got together and shared some special memories with the rest of the golfers in attendance.
Does it feel like 50 years ago?
Not
and
at
how
all.
vivid are the memories?
I can still remember the moment, you know, when I stood on the last tee at Lytham and what was going on, and I was aware of everything. And I remember actually, better 50 years ago, I can't remember where I left my car keys, but I remember all of those high moments. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I'm probably the opposite of Tony. Mine's just 20, but feels like 50. Where it says it's 50 and feels like 20. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's special moments in your career. You know, I was 30 years of age, obviously, when I won the Open at Carnoustie. Nothing beats winning tournaments of that size.
So it was an incredible time, and you know, it's about 14 years ago now, where it was my time to shine, and it was a situation where Tiger was 1 shot behind me with 9 holes to play, and he just won Augusta 3 months before, and he won 10 majors by then, you know, and won the world. He was just on fire. You know, I reached into every single tool, my mental toolbox to beat Tiger, so that was a lot of fun.
I think for me, what was a big difference that week, I became #1 on the Monday morning, and when I went out that week, I just felt that you know, I had the confidence that I was the best player in the world, and it was up for them to beat me. And I stood over that putt, and you're on that little putting green at Llanymynech Golf Course where I used to be. Think of them times when I thought I was Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Tony Jackson. And I'm just going to think, right, this is your chance, take it. And I was fortunate I hold it, and you know, I was a champion.
We'll wrap it up there. Please, everybody, a big hand for our major champions, Tony Jacklin, Michael Campbell, Ian Woosnam, and Paul Lawrie.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Paul Lawrie.
Somebody will need to get it going today unless Stephen comes backwards, and he won last year, so obviously he knows what he's doing around here. He won recently in the Challenge Tour. He's obviously a very fine golfer, so it's up to us to try and chase him down.
Always good to see Paul Lawrie in action at the par 3, but today playing alongside another very experienced pro, Jarmo Sandelin.
I hope to hit similar type of shots I did yesterday from tee to green. I was pretty good, and then make a few putts, and then see how far it takes me.
And I mean, 4 shots is nothing really, especially around this course. Is there a sort of a score you've got in mind?
I think I just try to hit those shots and then make the putts. And if it's my day, I will do fine. If it's not my day, it's not going to be fun.
And hopefully you get some hole-in-ones today.
Oh, that would be the best, but that costs you more.
Well, you just get the feeling that Sanderlin alongside Laurie, there's a lot of fun to be had there today. And I think we're going to see some super golf from both men as well. Lovely start, they'll take that. Chances at the first then. Aaron Rye knows this course so well, but hasn't been his day so far. +4 at the moment, 4th hole. Master of distance control. Beautiful, and he needs a few putts from ranges like that to drop to get back in contention. Now coming to the end of his round, Ian Woosnam. Not going to trouble the top of the leaderboard, but with shots like that might have a good shout at the Super Seniors title. Back to Yarmo at the first, and this putt across the green. Just trundles it up, but bit of a tricky one facing him still for par. Birdie chance for Rye, sneaks by. Most uncharacteristic for him. Paul Lawrie with his birdie chance at 1. Struck it firmly. But that one too has scooted on by. So after 2 very good tee shots, they're both faced with testers at the first for par. Woosnam then for birdie, this for a big finish to his round. Oh, he'll take that. He will take that all day long. Marvellous cheer from the grandstand behind the final green. And Ian Woosnam with a reminder of what a superstar he is. Lee Slattery at 13, former Euro Pro Tour champion who progressed to the European Tour with great success. This looks good. This looks very good. Oh my goodness me. Well, you do get holes in one here at the British Par 3 Championships, but that's one of the best we've seen. Lee Slattery with that ball on a string. At the first, the man who came so close in 2014, local teaching pro, Jack Hamlett. We spoke to him earlier.
How Stephen Tiley has made 9 birdies yesterday, I do not know. Look, that's phenomenal. I think the only way I was making 9 birdies yesterday with those flags was if I started cheating. Obviously, that's not an option. Phenomenal score, shows you what he's capable of. If he produces that form again today, it's going to be very difficult to beat. But it's almost like we've gone, OK, he's got a 2-shot lead. There's the flags, boys. Someone have a run at him. They've given us a chance today, I feel. Still got to hit the shots and hold the putts, of course, but it looks pretty accessible. As long as it doesn't firm up too much, I think potentially there's a low one out there.
Great to hear from Jack. Back to the course now. 2nd hole, and Paul Lawrie, 1 under par, looking to make a move, and that will give him another chance of moving his score forwards. On the first at 2 under, Jack Hamlett getting his round underway. Will he create another chance for himself? Very fond memories of 2014 when he finished 2nd, and that's a super tee shot. To the 2nd, playing alongside Paul Lawrie, Jarmo Sanderlin. And very much peas in a pod, those two. And Jean Luthwaite at the first. South African golfer with a tremendous touch around the course, and that is unlucky. That could end up very costly. Tournament sponsor Farmfoods Eric Hurd with his tee shot at the 2nd, playing alongside Paul Lawrie and Jarmo Sanderlin. And nearly a hole-in-one. Talking of hole-in-ones.
It's what every golfer aspires to, hole-in-one. Talk us through it today.
Well, I mean, it's probably the trickiest hole on the golf course, but they've been quite generous with the pin position today, so we can use the slope as a bit of a backstop. You've still got to hit the perfect shot, though, because there's bunkers everywhere. But it was just the most perfect shot, landed 10 feet past the pin, spun back, and never looked anywhere else when it started rolling down the slope. So it's been a while, and yeah, I mean, looking forward to the prize is a trip to Nailcote for 2 nights, and we actually said our little boys just started playing golf now and he'd love it round here. So it's a perfect prize and perfect day, great company, doesn't get any better really.
Terrific stuff from Slats today. Back to the action at 2. Jarmo Sandelin looking for a birdie. Beautiful. Absolute perfection. Rolled that in. Spot on for pace. Now, we said that tee shot from Luthwaite was going to be costly. Well, this is her third. Gone back across the green with her chip. And back over again to the other side. Another birdie chance. Laurie will want to keep pace if he can with his playing partner, Sandelin. Oh, yes, indeed. And the terrible twosome making a move. Laurie and Sandelin on a roll. Jack Hamlet from just off the first with a very delicate chip, and that just bit on him, unfortunately. Now, time to hear from Gary Wolstenholme in the final group to tee off today.
Gary, an experienced player around this course. Tell us what your thoughts heading into this final round.
The conditions are a little easier, actually, funnily enough. There's a little less wind, which should make clubbing a little bit more predictable. Obviously, towards the end of the field, you're going to find that the greens are a little bit chewed up, but you know, at the end of the day, it's just going to be about finding the putting surface, and if you make a few putts, then a bonus. But from my perspective, that's really all I'll be trying to do, is just hit tees, greens, and see what I can come out with. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. We've got a great atmosphere. We've got a lot of people here today, so it should be a lot of fun.
Great hope for the Women's Challenge this year. Lejeanne Luthwaite, unfortunately, only marginally off target with her tee shot, but it has cost her dearly. And that's a double bogey for the South African. Time now then to hear from tournament leader Stephen Tiley.
Stephen, moments before you're teeing off here, what's your thoughts going into this final round?
Yeah, I've had a quick look out on the course. Pins looking pretty good positions for like some good scores out there. So just go out there and just pick my spots and see what happens, if I can roll in a few putts, really. So.
They had an unbelievable start yesterday with 5 birdies in a row. Is that something you're going to look to try and repeat today?
If I could repeat, yeah, I'd do it every day. It's one of them, you know. You just go out there and it just seemed to fall into place. So those days come around very often. So just go out there, nice steady start, and just see what happens.
Jarmo Sandelin alongside Paul Lawrie made a good start to this final round. This is his tee shot at the beautiful third, coming across the water. Oh my goodness, that's perfection from Sandelin. Another birdie chance then for the big Swede. And back to the first tee, our last group. Gary Wolstenholme at 3 under alongside Stephen Tiley. One of those holes where you just want to walk away with a par. So much can go wrong here at the first. Little kick. Just holds on though. That's fine for Gary. And our tournament leader, the defending champion, Stephen Tiley, looking for back-to-back victories, and he's put himself in a wonderful position. Just 18 holes between him and the trophy, and that marvellous €50,000 winner's cheque. Talk about pressure. 5 under then, Tiley. See if those shoulders are swinging nice and easy, and they are. Very nice strike, straight down the middle. And that will do nicely. A great start from Stephen Tiley. Can he hold his nerve in the final round? Find out after the break, right here on Sky Sports.
Champion speakers sponsor the Farmfoods British Par 3 Championship coverage.
Welcome back to Nailcote Hall. Before we get back to the action, here's European Tour golfer Aaron Rai with his take on the second.
Hole 2, Roadies Bank, 114 yards. Dangers, it's very spinny at the front of the green, especially to a front left pin, which is where it usually is on the second day. So you can spin it off the green, potentially spin it into one of the front 2 bunkers. Club, you're probably looking between a sand wedge and a gap wedge for most of the guys. Potentially hitting it into the middle and trying to spin it across into that left portion. I think that's probably the right shot as well for that pin.
Well, if you're looking to recover from a bad start at the first, 2 is the hole to maybe give you some hope. Lejeanne Luthwaite looking to do exactly that. Double bogey at the first, and she's got that to try and grab a shot back. Stephen Tiley having to come up that little ridge at 1. Nicely judged. But as I said earlier, if you come away with a par, you're happy. Eric Hurd already gone close to a hole in one as the tournament sponsor. Oh, this is genius. And that was over the water from Eric. Wolstenholme from the fringe. And that is just brilliant. That really is good from Gary Wolstenholme. Never easy to judge it across the cut. Luthwaite. Well, the shoulders just sinking a little from the leading female player at this year's tournament. Back to the Sanderlin, Laurie and Hurd group, and Yamo rattles it in. He's looking very, very good at the start of today's play. Gary Wolstenholme then at the second, starting with an absolutely superb birdie from off the green at the first. Now, Ian Woosnam talking about the third, Woosie's Pond.
133 yards, something downhill a little bit, plays about 125, and yeah, you don't want to come up short there. Water in front, bunker to the right, and you don't want to come up short, but you don't want to go over as well. It's a really, really tricky little hole.
Tim Thielen, the American, one of the hole-in-one club here at the British Par 3 Championships. Got that a couple of years ago. Could do with one or two to finish off today's round. That's a nice shot into the third, though. Defending champion Stephen Tiley with his trademark tidy start at the first. Got a quick action. Gets a lot on the ball, though, when he strikes it beautifully, and that's nicely controlled. Tiley with another birdie opportunity. And this man has been draining them for fun. Yamo Sanderlin, winner on the European Tour, has moved to 3 under. Oh, it's another glorious shot. He is knocking the lights out today. Thielen for birdie, fortunately with his back turned to that rather bright McGovern shirt. Just stays high. And let's hope that isn't going to be the story of his round today. Paul Lawrie already seen his playing partner Yamo Sanderlin stiff it here at 4. Oh, it's another great shot, but coming across this upturned saucer of a green, that's going to be a tricky putt. Gary Wolstenholme alongside tournament leader Stephen Tiley, already taken a shot out of Tiley at the first. Beautifully struck again. Oh wow, oh wow, this man can putt. Gary Wolstenholme on an early final round charge. Jack Hamlet picked up a bogey on 2, unfortunately, from him. So requires a bit of fight, and that's good from Hamlet. Good battling tee shot at 3. Tricky putt. Look at the gallery watching on in the background as Paul Lawrie tries to negotiate the green here, and this can run away from you. And he's got a tricky one back up the hill as Lawrie for par. Darts maestro Keith Deller. Birdie putt at 2, leading the team competition at the moment with his playing partner Stephen Tiley. Lejean Luthwaite looking to recover from that double bogey at 1. And she's going about it in the right way. Another terrific shot and a reminder of how well she played on day 1. Lawrie gives his partner, Yamo Sanderlin, a little bit of a read on that putt and a smile from Lawrie. That was not easy. 2 putts from where he was. But Sanderlin now will know exactly where he wants to hit this. Yamo Sanderlin is moving into contention. Watch out, Gary Wolstenholme and Stephen Tiley. The big Swede is hot on your heels. And that makes this putt from Tiley all the more important. Just a little roll down the slope and just drifts off to the right. Back to the American Thielen at 4. Still in the red, so still under the card, Tim Thielen. And it's another beautiful shot. The hole that really scares the pros. That's the hole that Michael Campbell would run a mile from. Back to Luthwaite. It's a super effort to get back to level par, but it's not quite happening at the moment for the South African pro. Brendan McGovern on the 4th tee. Already seen a nice shot from his playing partner. Can't quite follow that, so it's another tricky one coming across that green. Hamlet for birdie. And that one has stayed high as well. Rather perplexed look there from Jack. Jarmo Sandlin, the man on the charge at the moment. And he's playing golf for fun right now. He's always got a smile on his face as Jarmo, but that's going to make him beam away as he wanders down to the 5th green. Now, Wolstenholme alongside Stephen Tiley. Just about every single year, Gary Wolstenholme is in contention, but usually with a bit of a run on the final day. This time around, he's doing it from the front. That is a beautiful tee shot. McGovern has the same problem as Laurie. Once he gets to the top of this green, it's going to start rolling down past the flag, and he has judged that to perfection. What a beautiful putt. Laurie then at 5, already seen Jarmo Sandlin thread it through the trees, the eye of the needle. Well, follows him, but just half a club too far. Rattled along. Tim Thielen. And we saw him miss one on the high side at 3. He's gone low at 4. The omen's not good with the short stick at the moment for Thielen. Back to 3 and tournament leader Tiley. This should work. Well, that stopped on him. I thought it was going to come back a little towards the hole, but that will do. Nice line in for that birdie opportunity. Paul Laurie then from the back of the 5th. Seen Jarmo Sandlin rattle a couple in. Not this time around. Gary Wolstenholme, has he been good or what? Drawing level now. Co-leader of the tournament alongside Stephen Tiley, and walking towards another great tee shot that's landed right next to the flag. Sandlin. And the run of birdies temporarily halted. If you're going to mount a challenge, you might as well get off to a cracking start. Jarmo Sandlin has done that. Lejean Luthwaite talking about the tricky 4th.
Yeah, hole 4, Shrimp Isle, I believe it's called. It's 95 yards down the hill. Out of bounds comes into play, long of the green. So if you're long, you're dead meat. Yeah, I hit a little a soft gap wedge in there. It's like an in-betweener shot for me. I believe the pin's in the front today, so I saw Lee Slattery already had a hole-in-one, so you got to pitch it just behind the hole. Hopefully I can do that today and give it a chance to go in.
So Lejean talking the talk. Let's see if she can walk the walk at 4. The hole named Shrimps Isle, after major winner Alison Nicholas MBE. Nice strike. Now, is this going to hold? No, not quite. But that certainly still counts as an opportunity. Paul Laurie at 6, just coming across the corner of the water. And then float it down to this green. Yeah, that's spun beautifully for him. Another good contact from Paul, who's always fascinated about the speed of the shots off these mats here at Nailcote Hall. Hamlet at 4. He's got some big shoes to fill. We've seen some stunning tee shots at this hole today. And there's another one. Again, quite a tricky roll across that green to get to the hole, but he'll take it. Wolstenholme and Tiley neck and neck at the top of the leaderboard, 5 under. But they've got some company. Jarmo Sandlin on the charge. Tiley. His touch on this golf course is something else. It really is. One of the best players at that kind of putt out here on the Cromwell that we've seen over the last few years. There is Sandlin at 4 under. Can he go to 5 under and join the leaders? Well, he's putting with confidence today, that's for sure. The big Swede. Certain assured striking. on the greens. Tim Thielen just hasn't been able to get his round going despite giving himself plenty of opportunities. And there's another one. There we go, Tim, knock that one in. Wolstenholme got a bit of a read on that last part of the roll from his playing partner Tiley and makes full use of it. That's 3 birdies in a row for Wolstenholme. Matches his playing partner at 6 under. Brilliant contest at the top of the leaderboard. Back to McGovern. 1 over at the moment for the tournament. Oh, that's got to be worth something. Oh, that should have really just rolled in. Exquisite golf. Still relatively early days, but Laurie will want to see more of those dropping. At last, moves himself to 3 under. Luthwaite, well, a D-cell coming out of that rough stuff. Never an easy putt. And got a bit of work to do for a par now. Paul Laurie at the 7th. Wonderful, rhythmical swing from the Scotsman. And a very, very nice result. This hole has claimed a few victims down the years, but Paul Laurie with a chance again. Now, I said this putt was tricky for Hamlet. Got to make sure it doesn't get away from him, and that's the way you do it. If you don't want it to roll past the hole, you just stick it in the hole. What a putt from the 2014 runner-up. Takes Jack Hamlet to 2 under the card. Man of the moment, Jarmo Sanderlin, almost closed the gap on Stephen Tiley and Gary Wolstenholme, but they've pulled 2 shots clear once again. And he is on a mission at the moment. That is another amazing shot from the Swede. Virtually a gimme at 7. Wolstenholme. Last group out on the course. Taking on Shrimps Isle for the first time. This upturned saucer. And that's about as good as it gets. Lovely shot from Wolstenholme. Still a testing putt, but he'll take the opportunity. Can co-leader Stephen Tiley follow him in? One of the shortest holes on the course, but one of the toughest to get a par on. Both men giving themselves a chance. Now, Aaron Rye. Mixed fortunes today, not really been his day out on the Cromwell. 3 birdies on the back 9 and might add to it there. What a finish in front of the gallery. Grandstand appreciating that one. Birdie chance for Laurie to go to 4 under. Oh, he's giving it a nice roll again. Not this time. Penny Dawson in the background playing alongside Jarmo Sanderlin in the team competition, and those two playing very well at the moment. For Laurie, well, he'll see that as a chance gone begging. But if this one goes begging, Jarmo's going to throw himself in the lake. Easy pickings after a magnificent tee shot. Jarmo Sanderlin moves to 5 under. Tim Thielen at Jacqueline Falls, 110 yards, coming just down a gentle gradient over the corner of the lake and the waterfall. And that's another sweet shot from Thielen. Wolstenholme. Whoa, let's hope that hasn't put him off. Something's happened on the course. I suspect a hole-in-one somewhere. There was just a pause, wasn't there, before he struck that putt. Gary Wolstenholme had to have heard the cheer. We'll bring you up to date with that when we can. In the meantime, Aaron Rye just finishing his round. Not his year, but he's a player with the kind of short game qualities that can win here at Nailcote Hall. He's done it as an amateur. Can he do it one day as a pro? Tiley's done that. Last year's winner rolls one in from a very tricky part on the fringe there. That was a super putt. Tiley moves to 7 under. And here we go. We do have news of what the cheer was all about. And my goodness me, it's Jarmo Sanderlin at 8. Beautiful strike. And the reaction from Jarmo, I think, will tell us exactly what's happened here. He's only aced it. Bit of Scandinavian magic from the big Swede, and he's going to milk that moment. Penny Dawson, his team playing partner, congratulates him, as does his fellow pro, Paul Laurie. 7 under for Jarmo, he's the co-leader. Genius from Jarmo Sandelin. More golf to come after the break.
Champion speakers sponsor the Farmfoods British Par 3 Championship coverage.
Welcome back to Nailcote Hall. The tournament is warming up nicely. Let's get back to the final round action. Defending champion Stephen Tiley with his tee shot at 8. Both he and Gary Wolstenholme fully appraised of the situation. There was a massive cheer on the course a little earlier when Jarmo Sandelin aced the 5th. So Tiley knows that he's got company now at the top of the leaderboard, and that's a fine response. Austrian European Tour pro Marcus Breer, 2 under with a birdie opportunity at 11. Nicely struck, judged to perfection, and Breer moves to 3 under. Still got some holes in hand to make a difference here as the Austrian. Gary Wolstenholme, co-leader after a really good early part to his final round. Now finds himself in 3rd position. And he'll be a little disappointed with that. But fortunately, it hasn't gone into the water at the back. Hole-in-one hero, the big Swede, Jarmo Sandelin, co-leader at 7 under. He's played some spectacular golf today, and he's showing no signs of letting up. He and Paul Lawrie just knocking the pins out today. Former European Tour star, now a star on the Stayshore Tour. Peter Baker, vital part of this tournament, very popular man here at Nailcote Hall. As is Gary Wolstenholme. It is a birdie opportunity, but it's an outside chance. Nice strike. Has it got the legs? Not quite. But that'll be a par for Wolstenholme. At 13, the rather unusual grip of David Nelson. It's always effective for him, though, here on the Cromwell course. Former winner of the Norma Seaherd Silver Salver. And I can tell you, he's in contention again at 8 over. Stephen Tiley for birdie. Needs this, I think. Oh, goodness me. Well, that moved. Beautifully judged, but it's gone past. Paul Lawrie. Well, you saw as he stood up there, just a mark of frustration from the Scotsman. If you think of the chances that he's had so far today, he would have wanted maybe another 2 or 3 to drop, but not quite for Paul. Not been the same story for Jarmo Sandelin, though, who actually took the putting out of the equation with that ace at 8. And he's had a very good read, not for the first time today, from Paul Lawrie's putt. On the way he's been striking the ball on the greens, this is a golden opportunity to take the lead in the tournament. And take it he does. What a fabulous contest this year. Jarmo Sandelin, our new leader. This year marks the 50th anniversary of Tony Jacklin's Open Championship win at Royal Lytham St Anne's. It's also the year that Jack Nicklaus famously gave Tony a putt to halve their match in the Ryder Cup. We caught up with Tony and Jack, who recalled that special moment, better known as the concession.
I had Tony 1 down with 2 to play, and I thought the match was going to be over. I had about a, 20-footer or less for an eagle on 17. He was about as far away on the green as you could get, which probably was about 60 feet or so, and he holed it. And then I missed my putt, so we went to 18 even. We both played 3 woods off the tee, and we had a few pleasantries walking off the tee about how nervous we were.
He hollered after me, "Tony," and I waited, and he caught me up and put his hand on my shoulder and he said, "Are you nervous?" And I said, "Jack, I'm petrified." And he said, "I just thought I'd ask because if it's any consolation, I feel the same way you do." And it kind of, I don't know, it didn't relax me, but it put it into context. It was an unenviable position to be in, you know, the outcome of our match, being it.
And then we both hit it on the green, and I think Tony was a little outside of me. He hit it up like that, and I don't know, I got greedy and ran it about 4.5, 5 feet by, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there, I'm having to make a putt. I made it, and I just reached down, picked up Tony's coin, and handed it to him. I don't think he would have ever missed the putt. That's what I told him. I said, I don't think you would have ever missed this putt, but I wasn't going to give you the chance. And I thought it was the right thing to do at the time. I didn't think it was any big deal. I thought it was, something you do. It's what my dad taught me to do. My dad taught me sportsmanship and the right way to do it. And here we are 50 years later and talking about the same silly little putt. But I think it's meant a lot in Tony's life. It's meant a lot in mine. We've done things together because of it. And it's become a little bit bigger than what I thought maybe it could have been.
Great memories of a special moment in golfing history. Now back to the action here at Nailcote Hall, and Gary Wolstenholme made an early charge for the lead with birdies on the first 3 holes. Since then, the big Swede Jarmo Sandelin has had a hole-in-one on 8 and 5 birdies to take him to the top of the leaderboard at 8 under par. Can reigning champion Stephen Tiley respond? Ahead, Sandelin moving into the lead at 8 under. Stephen Tiley just a shot behind him, and Gary Wolstenholme not far off the pace either. And let's not count out Breer or Laurie. And once again, we're heading for a fantastic finish here at Nailcote Hall, with every tee shot feeling like the next instalment of the shootout, and it has been a shootout today. Poor Laurie. The sun is out. Beautiful weather for the closing stages of this year's tournament, and another beautiful golf shot from the Scotsman. Shack Lady, 2 under at the 14th. A lot of players have got there or thereabouts today. Now just trying to come in under that little bit of breeze above the trees, and he has nailed it. Beautiful shot. Should be a gimme. Tournament leader then, Jarmo Sandelin, changed the whole complexion of today's final round with that hole-in-one. Needs to try and keep it going if he can. And that has to be the furthest he's been away from the pin today. Matt Nixon, +1 at the 14th. And just about hangs on. We'll take that. The winningest player of all time here at the British Par 3 Championship, Carl Mason, former European Tour star, who has a total of 6 titles to his name here at Nailcote Hall. Paul Lawrie looking for his first title. Birdie opportunity from just off the green. Well, he knew that that break was coming, just couldn't quite hold it out for long enough. Shack Lady, that's the kind of tap-ins we all like. Very carefully retrieved. And a beautiful birdie. Carl Mason, for his birdie putt, Super Seniors title number 6. Looks like it's on his way for Mason. He has a stunning record here. Got to be the calmest individual you'll ever see on a golf course. Nixon looking to get back to level par, and will do. He's trundled that one in. Sandelin surely can't keep this magnificent run of scoring going, can he? No, not this time. That's the first shy putt we've seen from Jarmo today, from a man that's anything but shy. Now, Richard O'Hanlon, 2-time winner here on the British Par 3. Not going to be his year, but you can't take those 2 victories away from him. He is one of the superstars in the lineup at this championship. Austrian golfer Marcus Breer with his tee shot at 14 now. He's moved himself to 4 under, Marcus. He still has an outside chance, you know. And if he can roll that one in, he could ask some questions down the final straight. Lawrie, 4 shots off Sandelin. Sandelin leading. Trying to thread this ball through those trees down to this upturned saucer of a green, and that's 2 unbelievable tee shots he's hit at Shrimps Isle today. Well, he's entertained us on and off the course over the last couple of years, Jarmo Sandelin. But this year, he's entertaining us with pure short game golf. Paul Lawrie trying to hang on to the Jarmo Sandelin afterburner in this final round. That's a nice strike. Oh, this is just brilliant. What's the old song? Anything you can do. Back to Bria. Birdie chance. He really had to hold that if he was going to properly mount some sort of challenge over the final holes. But it's been a good run for him. Stephen Tiley still got one hand on this Farmfoods British Par 3 title. I've been so impressed with his tenacious defence this year. And he could still make it back-to-back wins. He's got to keep the scoring going. It's another opportunity for Tiley. Andrew Marshall, very popular golfer around these parts, hasn't quite made the charge that he wanted to on the final day. Tidy shot, but a little too late, I think, for Marshall. Sandelin for 9 under. He can't get there. He can't seem to get to 9 under. It's funny, isn't it? Players play brilliantly to get to a number, and then they just can't quite kick on from there. And Jarmo Sandelin will be ruining that, because that was pretty close to a gimme. Wolstenholme. Another man who's gone about his business beautifully in this final round and keeping pace with Stephen Tiley. He's now on 7 under as well. Paul Lawrie able to get a read off Jarmo Sandelin for a change. Can he make it count? Bit of revenge here for Lawrie. This to go to 5 under. Well, it's taken a while, but finally Paul Lawrie skips on. Now, is he going to be able to put himself in a position to challenge come the end of this round? Now, Jarmo Sandelin missed the birdie opportunity. You don't want to miss the one on the way back. No dramas. Jarmo stays at 8 under, but sees his playing partner close the gap to just 3. Andrew Marshall. This to go to 2 under. Nicely done. Now, time to hear from Jarmo Sandelin. He's describing the 5th, which is also the 14th.
5th hole, needle's eye, 95 yards. The trees on both left and right, it's difficult because the wind is swirling. So sometimes when you take a little bit more club, it goes straight through, and then you're in the backside bunker. And that's a bunker shot downhill. So it's tricky. You have to put your love to it and try to find the right distance.
The big Swede, he's always got something to say. Last year it was sharks in the water. This year you've got to love your shots, and see if Paul Lawrie loves this one. He should do. He should run straight up there and give that ball a kiss. What a beautiful finish. If Sandelin can follow him, the pair of them will be skipping down the fairway to their putts. In between the trees, a little bit of shape on the ball, and that's another absolute corker. Jack Hamlet at 13. What a dramatic playoff that was 5 years ago now against Eddie Pepperell. But a run of bogeys just over the last few holes, I'm afraid, has put him out of contention now. Back to a man who could have put himself in contention, Andrew Marshall, with another birdie opportunity just drifting wide. Matt James chasing David Nelson, who's into the clubhouse on +8 in the amateur single-figure competition for the Norma Seaherd Silver Salver. And I think that's put Matt James in a great position. This man's in a great position, Jarmo Sandelin, leading the British Par 3 Championship on 8 under, and he's finally got there. It's taken him a while, but he's cracked it. Sandelin goes to 9 under and strengthens his grip on this title. Lejean Luthwaite. After that double bogey at 1, she's battled so hard to get back into the tournament. Hasn't quite happened, and in danger there of drifting a little further. Laurie, though, takes another step forward. Fabulous tee shot, birdie secured. Paul Laurie charging, Jarmo Sandelin under some pressure. More golf to come after the break.
Champion Speakers sponsor the Farmfoods British Par 3 Championship coverage.
Welcome back to Nailcote Hall. We are heading towards another cracking finish here at the Farmfoods British Par 3 Championships. Jarmo Sandelin of Sweden leads, but he has got a lot of great players hot on his tail. Let's get back to the action. Paul Laurie, 3 shots off the lead. The lead held by his playing partner, Jarmo Sandelin, but things can change so quickly on the Cromwell course, we know that. Tee shot at the 15th. Both he and Jarmo with a chance to post a decent clubhouse total. Another fine shot from Laurie. Wolstenholme playing alongside Stephen Tiley, the pair of them on 7 under. Well, just about everything he touched turned to gold earlier in the day, Gary Wolstenholme. But as the shadows begin to spread across the greens here at Nailcote Hall, having to fight for everything. Sandelin. How much does he want to take this course on? Or is he going to be happy to defend at 9 under? He's just let that one drift out wide, and the first sign that we've seen from Jarmo Sandelin that maybe he's feeling that pressure just a little bit. Tiley. 2 shots behind the leader. And I just wonder if he is getting a little tight as well. He'll know exactly where Jarmo Sandelin is and exactly what the score is at the moment that he's got to chase. Has plenty of holes in hand, but every opportunity like that goes begging. Well, you're one step closer to losing your grip on the title, and Tiley still fighting, but he's got work to do. Now, this is not easy. Got to get it up and down very quickly. You've not got a lot of green to work with. That's pretty good hands from Jack Hamlet. Big shot, really big shot for Jarmo Sandelin, choosing to go with the putter from the fringe. Oh, and he's just raced it by. Wow. We could see another change on the leaderboard here. We'll have to wait and see how dramatic that's going to be. Lejean Luthwaite, she too in the bunker, just like playing partner Jack Hamlet, and she's also got the ball out very nicely indeed. The team event, Penny Dawson playing alongside Jarmo Sandelin and doing a good job. And Penny makes it onto the show every year because she just keeps coming up with shots like that. No wonder teammate Jarmo's happy, but he's got his own problems at that hole. Norma C. Hurd's Silver Salver Challenge. Matt James, oh, he's taken another step closer to depriving David Nelson of the title. That's great golf from the single-figure amateur. Scores confirmed, 9 under, 6 under. Laurie looking to go to 7. Sandelin looking to stay where he is. There's the first part of the equation successfully negotiated. And the 1999 Open champion with a fabulous putt. Well, we'll be back to see if Sandelin can make par. Hamlet, fine up and down. And that's good golf from the teaching pro. Back to Sandelin, this to stay. 2 shots clear, but no. And let's be honest, that's the first thing we've seen Jarmo Sandelin do wrong all day long. He's played some dream golf. But you can't win a big tournament like this without the odd trial and tribulation to negotiate. Gary Wolstenholme, like Stephen Tiley, needs birdies. Good strike, great result. Here's Paul Laurie. to talk about the 7th and the 16th.
Number 7, Nailcote Falls, is 133 yards, slightly uphill. Water left of the green and water long. Very difficult shot to get it to pin high because there's a big slope on the green, and anything long kicks in the water. So most guys just try and play middle of the green there and 2-putt and get off of there with a 3.
It's just great, isn't it, to hear what these world-class players make of the course, but also their thought process on the tee box. Another good strike. Oh, and he's going to need a bit of fortune, and he's got it. Off the trees and into roughly the same position as he was first time around. Stephen Tiley with his next salvo in the shootout. Just trickling back off onto the fringe. He'll fancy that. Now Sanderlin. Slightly different angle into the flag here than the one we saw Laurie take on. That is a brave shot. Over the water, over the pin. And it looks like Sanderlin is back to his best. Hamlet. Couple of steps forward, couple of steps back during the course of today's round. Hasn't quite happened for him. Another nice tee shot though. And we haven't seen Tim Thelen, the American, for a while. 15th hole, his tee shot. He too has been becalmed at 2 under, but might have a chance to move to 3 under. Now, first bit of cut to come across. Got to judge the pace, but at least it's uphill, and oh, you can't have them back. Tyler will be kicking himself. Luthwaite alongside Hamlet with her tee shot. Lovely trajectory, straight between the trees and straight over the top of the flag. Brendan McGovern seen his score drift to 4 over. Seen a good shot from his playing partner Tim Thelen, and very similar route into the green for McGovern. So chances for both of them. Big putt this in the context of the competition. Gary Wolstenholme needs to hold this. Oh, goodness me. Just went off in my hand, officer. That's flown by. Matt James looking to join an illustrious list of former amateur winners. The likes of Aaron Rye and Charlie Hull have all won this trophy. And with golf like that, he deserves it. They've got the pin surrounded. McGovern alongside Thelen, both with a chance at birdie, and the first one is taken. Where were those putts a little earlier today? Oh, McGovern will feel he's left a few shots out there on the course. Wolstenholme will definitely know that he's left a shot there. Absolute frustration for Gary Wolstenholme. And he doesn't want to rush this one either. A bogey. Dramatic stuff. Gary Wolstenholme slips from 7 under back to 6 under. Thelen. Do you know what? He's heading for a very good finish here, the American. 3 under. Chances still to come. Jack Hamlet looking to benefit from that fabulous tee shot. Oh, you heard from the crowd all you needed to hear there. Real groan of anguish as that one snuck past. Well, the drop shot from Sanderlin has brought him back to 8 under. Paul Lawrie, though, can't capitalise on that. James, after a beautiful tee shot, he's up and after that one nice and quickly. And that amateur title, the Norma Seaherd Silver Salver, is looking like it's going in his direction. Par required for Tiley. And a sigh of relief. Safely negotiated. Just a shot behind Sanderlin now, which makes this all the more important. And a rather nervous prod. Well, he wears his heart on his sleeve, does Jarmo Sanderlin. And I can promise you, he's feeling the pressure out there. Big day for him. And a big day for this man. A title defence is still not beyond him. Not with golf like that. Laurie at 17, looking for a tidy, but hopefully productive finish to his round. Holds the green. Birdie chance. Wolstenholme has to put the frustration of the last hole out of his head. Refocus. Get back to the golf he's been playing for most of this tournament, and that one just away from the green. It's not too problematic though. Sunderland looking after this one rather cautiously. It's not going to be a second ace on this hole today. Going to have to rely on a long birdie putt to score. Andrew Marshall finishing up at 18. It's been that kind of day. Nearly, but not quite for the Midlander. Tiley. Every single tee shot, every single putt, vital. And once again, never really gave it a chance. Tiley has to settle for another par. Will he get his chance against this man, Sunderland? Looking to return to 9 under. It's an outside chance though. 2 putts from here he'll take. And he's going to have to take them to stay at 8 under. Well, you can almost cut the tension with a knife. It's incredible. Wolstenholme. Well, his body language tells you all you need to know. The wheels have come off a little bit for Gary Wolstenholme. In amongst it all, though, Paul Lawrie trying to keep his head, and he too looks a little peaked at that one. Knocks it in for par. Playing partner Yamos Sunderland about to do the same thing. We'll see that in a moment, but for now, let's get back to 15. Stephen Tiley still in the hunt, still chasing, and still trying to defend that title. Well, that took a real kick off to the right there, but I promise you, another yard shorter, and that could have been far worse. Sunderland holds his nerve. Wow, what a battle. What a finish to this tournament. Wolstenholme dusts himself down again on the tee. And once again, just off the dance floor, but not far from the flag. Little tricky putt, though, up against the fringe. Lawrie. Final tee shot of this regulation tournament. If anything happened to see him into a playoff, he's given himself at least a chance to ask the question of Yamos Sunderland. Stephen Tiley walking to his putt. Sunderland got to get those nerves under control, and the swing is a good one. The contact is good. He quite likes it, and that's why, well, we've seen plenty hold from there over the last few years. Yamos Sunderland probably feels he's got to hold that. Will 8 under in the clubhouse, if he pars it, be enough? Stephen Tiley with a chance here. He's surely going to get more chances. And he'll need them. Not a bad long-range putt, doing his job here. As Sunderland crosses the bridge, heading towards the final green. You've got to love him. And I promise you, that is not a smile for once. That is a grimace. The Swede is feeling it. A must for Wolstenholme. Not a bad tee shot, but this is not easy. With the ball up against the fringe on that cut. It was always difficult to get a proper contact on the ball there. And for the 3rd time in 3 holes, frustration for Wolstenholme, but at least it hasn't cost him. Sunderland to go into the clubhouse at 9 under. It's not to be, and he's got that rather ticklish putt to make sure he goes in at 8 under. And Yamos Sunderland not done yet in front of the grandstand here at the last hole. Not surprised to see him mark that ball. And that changes everything for this putt for Paul Lawrie. This is a chance to tie Jarmo Sandelin in the clubhouse. Massive opportunity for Paul Lawrie. Oh, but it's an opportunity that just goes begging. Well, with the quality of these players, Lawrie will be backing his playing partner to make his putt. He's been there before, he's been close to the win here at Nailcote Hall. But once again, Paul Lawrie, close but no cigar. Lejean Luthwaite, leading women's golfer at this year's tournament, and that's why. Another cracking shot from her. Biggest putt that Jarmo Sandelin has had for a few years. This to retain the lead and set a mark of 8 under in the clubhouse for the big Swede. He's done it. He's done it. And great appreciation from the gallery. The look on Jarmo Sandelin's face tells you that maybe he hasn't done enough. He knows Stephen Tiley is still chasing hard out there on the course, but for the moment, he's got the lead. And he has set the mark that the rest of this field has to beat. Jarmo Sandelin setting a great clubhouse mark. Can anyone beat him?
Champion speakers sponsor the Farmfoods British Par 3 Championship coverage.
Welcome back to the closing stages of the 2019 Farmfoods British Par 3 Championship here at Nailcote Hall. Gary Wolstenholme and defending champion Stephen Tiley were leading at the start of the day, but 1999 Open champion Scotland's Paul Lawrie produced a bogey-free round to shoot 6 under to finish at 7 under par for the tournament. And if a few more putts had dropped like this one, it could have been even better. Lawrie, though, with a glimpse of that short game magic that led to his nickname on tour of Chippy. A super card to mount another fantastic challenge to win a title that has so far eluded him, but only by the narrowest of margins. It's surely just a matter of time. Paul was spurred on by playing partner, the enigmatic Swede Jarmo Sandelin, who also produced a fantastic round of golf, including a hole-in-one and a total of 6 birdies to go with the Eagle Ace. In fact, if it hadn't been for a bogey at 15, Jarmo would have finished 2 shots clear of Paul. Another great day on the Cromwell course from a player looking to get back to winning ways, nearly 2 decades after his last European Tour title. Jarmo taking over as clubhouse leader at 8 under par and waiting to see if any players can catch him to force a playoff. 2 guys, though, still in contention. Gary Wolstenholme with an outside chance and defending champion Stephen Tiley just 1 back with 3 to play. We're heading for another classic British Par 3 finish. 3 holes to play. 1 shot off the lead. Defending champion Stephen Tiley has got it all to play for. And when you've already won the title, I don't know. I think that gives you a slight advantage. But with 50,000 euros on the line, he's got to be feeling the pressure too. 2014 runner-up, Jack Hamlet, got himself back to level par. He's played some really nice golf during the course of today. I think he'll count himself a little unlucky that he's not further under the card. Gary Wolstenholme. 3 holes of frustration for the former Walker Cup player. And it looks like he's going to turn the positivity back on. Very good tee shot at 16. McGovern from the monster bunker at the front of the final hole. Do you know what? That's not a bad effort from there. James has 1 hand on the Norma Seaherd Silver Salver. He's nearly got 2 hands on it. And a broad grin from the man who at the moment is setting the pace in the amateur competition. This is what the pros play for. This is what they live for. Every single putt from here for Stephen Tiley could be the difference between him losing and retaining this trophy. Decent strike. Good roll. But he will see that as another chance gone begging. Needs a birdie in his closing 2 holes. Lejean Luthwaite. Just a little decel on that part, but overall on her debut here at the British Par 3 Championship on the Cromwell course, given a good account of herself. Tim Thielen in front of the crowd, very popular player here in the field, the American. Well, we saw him right at the top of his final round missing a putt. And it's going to finish in the same way. Chances left out on the course for him. Wolstenholme to try and put himself back in contention. It just isn't happening. I would give Gary Wolstenholme 5 or 10 minutes at the end of his round today. Has to hold this and then has to go birdie-birdie for any chance of a playoff. That's, of course, based on what Jarmo Sandelin has done in the clubhouse, not based on what his playing partner Stephen Tiley could do in the closing 2 holes. Well handled. Good course management and good management of his emotions there, Gary Wolstenholme. Finally, a celebration and a look to the golfing gods. They've not been too kind on him over the last few holes. McGovern can't finish with a nice up and down, not far away. Tell you what, he's got the right shirt on for the weather, hasn't he? And I think he's enjoyed himself here at Nailcote Hall. Stephen Tiley. Well, if he wants to retain his title, he's got to do something. 2 holes to go, needs a birdie to tie Jarmo Sandelin. Well, it's not bad, you know. It's not bad, and a putt from there, I think he'll fancy the read on that one. Jack Hamblett worked hard to get himself back to under the card. Would love to hang on to that here at the final hole. Got that up very quickly. It's going to come down softly, but just a little too far. Well, it's not dead down that bank, but it's not fun. Luthwaite will be trying not to follow him. Hamlet taking on the thinnest part of the green. A lot of the pros go out to the right, where it's just that little bit bigger, a little bit more surface to land on. And I think Luthwaite's gone after it as well. Gutsy shot, but just drops in behind the hedge, and that's virtually unplayable from there. Wolstenholme then. Bizarrely, he's not out of it. Oh dear. Commentator's curse. Sorry, Gary. Well, that's how it stands. Jarmo Sandelin leads in the clubhouse on 8 under. Paul Lawrie in there with him, so can't do anything about it. But Stephen Tiley can. He's got a birdie chance at 17, and then he's still got a hole to play if he wants to nick it from Sandelin. Back to Hamlet. The crowd love these shots. They are so tough to play. And Jack Hamlet has played that okay. Bit of magic required from Mr. Wolstenholme. Yeah, that is very, very tidy golf indeed. And a chance to save par. Dejan Luthwaite. Well, from there, that is brilliant. And Luthwaite trying to create the up and down of the day. Well played. Every time we come to Stephen Tiley at the moment, it's a must-make putt. Nothing's changed. Chance for a birdie. It's looking good. Oh, it's very good. Wow, and this whole tournament once again has shifted on its axis. And the defending champion is showing some real guts out there, refusing to let go of this title. Hamlet with a chip from just off the final green. Slightly cruel reminder, but in 2014, Eddie Pepperell holed exactly that same shot to beat him in the playoff. I guess you could say it was a read, but 5 years later, he's seen the funny side of it anyway. James then, to secure the single-figure amateur handicap title. And 2 putts from there will be good enough to get his hands on the Norma Seaherd Silver Salver. And he joins a very good list of amateur players that have won this title down the years. Wonderful stuff from him. Waiting to tee off on the 18th, Stephen Tiley has got himself level with clubhouse leader Jarmo Sandelin at 8 under. One more hole to play to either force a playoff or retain the title. What a position to be in. Luthwaite. That is some up and down. So far away from the green you couldn't even see it, tucked away in the foliage, but extricates herself from a very tricky position to finish her round. Here we go then, Mr. Tiley. This is it, do or die. Co-leader, Stephen Tiley, 1 to play, the defending champion. With his tee shot at 18, he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. Oh, and he knew that was flirting with danger. He's got 2 putts from there to force a playoff with clubhouse leader Jarmo Sandelin. And that, I can tell you, is not done and dusted. Keith Deller, darts legend, with a few words of encouragement for his teammate as Gary Wolstenholme prepares for his final tee shot. He was in the mix all day long. He's played some wonderful golf in this final round, but just seemed to run out of steam on these last few holes. Well, Stephen Tiley, an encouraging start to his final round. Moved himself to 7 under par with those early birdies, but then a long run of par golf. Just couldn't get one to drop until 17. But you know what? If he can tidy it up and 2-putt from where he is at 18, all of that will be forgotten. He'll be into a playoff. What a wonderful scene. The crowd silent in the grandstand. Well, he's decided to go with a bit of loft here from the fringe. Big shot for Tiley. This is going to kick on. It's going to kick on. Oh, wow. Well, I'm afraid Stephen Tiley's just put himself in a very difficult position. He's got a long, long putt on the way back to force a playoff. Wolstenholme bunkered, as he has been for the final part of this round. And he too, unable to get himself out of bother. Jarmo Sandelin watching on and waiting. The clubhouse leader, I'm sure he will feel like he was heading for a playoff, but Stephen Tiley has to make an absolute clonker of a putt to force that. Is Sandelin on the verge? Wolstenholme. Neat little chip to finish. And that sums it up, doesn't it? That sums it up, Gary. You've done everything but today. Some super golf and just couldn't quite apply the finishing touch. He's got close again, but not close enough. A confirmation of Gary Wolstenholme's final round went off like a steam train at the start of the round. Just couldn't quite keep it going, and then gave a couple of shots back to the course to finish the tournament at 5 under par. Here we go then. You could hear a pin drop. Complete silence here at the 18th. Tiley needs this putt. No. He hasn't got it. And Jarmo Sandelin is the 2019 Farmfoods British Par 3 champion. Stephen Tiley, the defending champion, has to settle for runners-up spot. But Sandelin is our new champion here at Nailcote Hall. A proud moment with his son, his caddy alongside him. And Sandelin has done the job. For this man, though, Stephen Tiley, sometimes this game just hurts. Here he is with Adam Phillips.
Stephen, so close to forcing a playoff then so far.
Yeah, just hit a really bad chip at the wrong time, really. So just a little bit, just trying to sort of hole it, semi-hole it and semi-get it close, and it just flew out a little bit fast and went by. Missed the one coming back, but that's sport. But all credit to Jarmo. I mean, that's an incredible round today, just to keep it going as well, because he had a hot start and yeah, he's won it.
He certainly has, and in some style. Jarmo Sandelin, a massively popular winner and a very emotional champion. Adam Phillips spoke to the new Cromwell course short game maestro.
Jarmo, congratulations.
Thank
the first
you.
international winner of the Farmfoods British Par 3 Championship. How does it feel?
It's hard to describe how happy I am. I'm really, really pleased. I played extremely good today and managed to keep my nerves on the stretch. And I went 7 under today with a hole in one on the 8th hole. So I'm extremely pleased. I haven't won a tournament since 2001. So I'm very happy. It's just the feeling of winning a tournament against your professional colleagues. That the feeling, it's incredible. I'm on the top of the mountain for the moment. Soon I will be back down, so I have to enjoy the moment.
Jarmo, once again, a fantastic result today. Many congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Confirmation then of our final leaderboard. A terrific effort from Stephen Tiley to keep his hands on the trophy, finishing at 7 under alongside Paul Lawrie, one of the best title defences in fact the event has ever seen. But Jarmo Sandelin is the player to create that little bit of short game history in 2019 with a marvellous victory. Matt James finished at 6 over in the single-figure amateurs tournament to claim the coveted Norma C. Hurd Silver Salver, presented by tournament sponsor Eric Hurd and host Tony Jacklin. In the team event, Jarmo Sandelin and Penny Dawson claimed the trophy. The most successful player in British Par 3 history, Carl Mason, won the Super Seniors title, his 7th title overall after his 1999 championship win. And last but not least, this year's Farmfoods British Par 3 champion, Jarmo Sandelin, stepped up to claim the Bobby Jones Bronze Statue Trophy and the winner's cheque for €50,000. Congratulations to Jarmo on a fantastic win.
Champion speakers sponsor the Farmfoods British Par 3 Championship coverage.